I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Mama don't like tattletale.
So guys, John Claymore here. I know I'm a little bit late on this issue. Of course, the Russia-Ukraine ordeal has sidetracked me from talking about this issue. And as you guys saw the thumbnail, and you're seeing the current police chief of Ottawa, and of course the little black, which by the way is something I'm experimenting with thumbnails. And you're probably thinking to yourself, is he back on the Freedom Convoy? Well, not so much. I'm here to talk about an issue in particular that I've been hearing a lot of other people on the right talk about. Because you have your defund the police crowd, you have your abolish the police crowd, and of course you have your pro-police crowd. I'm here to talk about this issue and give you guys a bit of a nuanced take that I don't think anybody seems to understand. And of course, I'm talking about the Freedom Convoy in Canada and how we had all these videos coming out on Twitter of police officers stopping, beating, arresting, giving tickets to peaceful protesters. I mean, basically manhandling people, taking away their freedoms, taking away their rights. And I'm here to say that right now that I don't believe that is every single police department. So I know this is going to sound a little bit contradictory because I made a video today kind of supporting him, but when I hear Tim Pool scream out abolish the police, like he often does, I got to disagree with that. By the way, guys, if you've got a good take, if somebody has got a good take, I will agree. I will talk about that take, or I will give you my own 2 cents, or I will point out something that they're not talking about. But if they have a very, very bad take, I'll also go after them then and say, look, man, I think you got this matter wrong. That's just how I am. I don't really hold an allegiance to any YouTubers or anything like that right there. But if you have a good take, I'll mention it. If you have a bad take, I'll point it out. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I tell you guys to comment in the comment section, because I want to hear you guys' honest thoughts. I'll speak to anybody over any issue, any time of the day. And, of course, if you like it, then please hit that like button. If you don't, subscribe. And, of course, share the video. And like I said, if you don't like the take, then just leave it in the comment section, and I'll have a conversation with you. And if there's something that's reasonable that we can talk about or come to an agreement with, we'll have that out. We'll have it out. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is because a while back, one of my very first videos that I made was, why you do not defund the police? What's the real reason why you don't want to defund the police departments? And it's an issue that, quite frankly, nobody even considers or talks about. And this is one of the reasons why I want you guys to hit the like button so that way the video will travel through the algorithm. And hopefully people will see this and they'll stop and they'll think twice before they decide to do something absolutely stupid. I mean, what's the old saying? The left goes too far, and the right, of course, they don't go far enough. I mean, a great example of the left, of course, would be something like, say, the Ukraine-Russia crisis. You have a lot of lefties putting on Ukrainian flags on their Facebook posts and stuff, but they never once put an American flag. Yeah, I borrowed from Styx Hexenhammer because he's telling the truth. Styx Hexenhammer 666 was 100% correct on this issue. But I want to talk about this issue because it's something that nobody is actually catching on to. Here's my feeling. Do I think the cops overstep their bounds? Yes. We've all seen this mask stuff where there's mass police in New York City. We've seen where cops are being told to arrest people over not wearing a mask, or they've been told to give tickets, lock people up over some of the stupidest crap, some of the mindless stuff. And my answer to that is this right here. Did you ever think for a second that a lot of these places right here, a lot of these big city cops are in places where there's political appointees that are ordering them to do what they want to do? Did you ever think that the whole defund the police crap created this whole entire vacuum where a lot of good police officers who are very, very ethical were actually deciding to possibly resign from the force because they said, look, it's turning into a madhouse here. I want to go ahead and get on out of here. Did you ever think that now you're being left with a lot of cops who are about to retire and don't really care? And at the same time, they're getting a lot of rookie cops and they're having to train them or are brand new and they haven't been around the good ethical cops. Did you guys ever think about that? Law enforcement, and I'm not here to bootlick, I'm here to tell you that law enforcement, regardless of how you feel about it, is a necessary evil. And the main reason why it is a necessary evil is because law enforcement, EMS, and fire, all three link together. All right, now repeat that. Law enforcement, fire, and EMS, all three link together. Let me explain what I mean. And I'll dive further to the politics and why it is you should be wary, but I'll put it this way here. I've always had the impression you back the blue when they're correct, you criticize the blue when they're wrong. Do I think the reforms need to be done in some departments? Yes, I'll talk about that towards the end of this video, but let me explain. When you have a grandmother, an old lady, or an old man, or let's just say you have a guy get injured on the job site, construction worker, the very first thing that EMS is going to ask dispatch is the scene secure? The reason why they ask the question, is the scene secure, is because they want to make sure the area that they're driving into is absolutely safe. Do you guys remember the Chaz Chop? Well, of course, they're talking about the incidents in Oregon, and the Chaz Chop was in Seattle, Washington. They had an incident where one of their little Antifa soldiers got shot, and they were protesting fire and EMS because they weren't coming in. They stopped. Well, they stopped because the area wasn't secure. They got to wait till the area is actually secure before they can actually go in there and grab old boy and actually work on him, take him to the hospital. Sometimes people die. So when you hear Rudy Giuliani say crap like people are going to die as a result of this, they're not lying, because cops are very, very important and very, very essential for fire and EMS to actually coordinate and actually save lives. Now, as far as police officers investigating crimes and whatnot, I'll tell you honestly right now, this is where I wanted to get to about the political appointee stuff. A while back, Tim Pool had a retired NYPD officer who had actually been on the force, I think, for 30 years. I'll see if I can try to link that episode in the actual comment section. And he explained to him that over time, the department was becoming more and more political. And by becoming more and more political, what was happening was that you were getting more and more political appointees. More and more Democrats were taking over each position. And of course, basically what you vote for is what you get, what you appoint. And of course, they make their own appointments to serve out their own means, if you guys know what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is that when police departments become political, like you just saw in Ottawa, they can suddenly become tools. Me personally, I am not in favor of a political military. I'm not in favor of political organizations, period, when it comes to actually doing basic things. I mean, of course, you've got your political parties and whatnot, but I don't believe in indoctrination in schools for either side. Okay, I think that we should not be indoctrinating our kids with this leftist nonsense, but at the same time, though, how far is too far? I mean, if you decide you want to indoctrinate with the other side of the aisle, how far are you willing to go? I think history needs to be taught both sides. The actual full history needs to be spoken instead of this leftist indoctrination crap, which, by the way, I'll probably speak about in a video this weekend, because I'm going to start posting videos on weekends again, like I did in the early days, about this whole indoctrination crap that went on in this school in North Texas, where they actually protested this Republican congressman who was running because over the transgender issue with his kids. Apparently, he got to a custody battle with his wife. I'll explain that in another video, because it's been circulating all day on Twitter, and I'll probably release that video on Saturday. But the fact of the matter is that when police departments become political, this right here is what you're going to get. You need to know what you're actually doing. When you actually go vote for county sheriff, make sure that person has the best interest in mind. Don't think about party, for example. You're probably looking at me and you're saying, well, dude, you're just a straight up conservative. You've probably voted Republican every election. Not entirely true. That is not entirely the case. I am very much conservative, but I have voted Democrat before in a local election for sheriff twice, because I knew who the sheriff was personally. I had actually met that person and saying, what could I do right here? Okay, I know the actual heart of this person. Now, by the way, the first time I did it, didn't feel bad, but the second time I did it, maybe not so much. Maybe it's time for a change. But that's what I'm saying. You live and you learn. You need to actually vet people out. And of course, as I said before, and I'll keep saying it again, some of these big departments are becoming more and more political. If you allow those departments to become political, then they're probably going to answer the stupid calls. You know, person had a mask on, a person had a mask off. Got to go over and make sure this person. And by the way, these little things like mask mandates, crap like that right there is just tedious bullshit, tedious nonsense that's going to make a cop even more and more frustrated when they go to work. I got to go through this crap right here again because the mayor don't have any common sense. Now my life is being put on the line. Okay, stuff like, say, the video I did earlier today, swatting. Who the hell would call somebody to go swat somebody else as a prank, like Ian Miles Cheong did to friggin' Andy, was it Andy? I think it's Andy Worski. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I've done front this. But like I said, who the hell would do that crap? All right, what person would do that? All right. Obviously, people who do crap like that, there are pieces of shit. So it's also a corrective measure too. When a cop stops you, just stop. Okay, just put your hands up. Stop. Okay. Why do you think that situation in Minneapolis, not the George Floyd, talk about the Dante Wright? Why do you think that happened? Old boy tried to take off. He tried to freaking drive off. So what do you expect to happen? An accidental discharge. Guy got killed. Stupid stuff like that right there. Just stop. Okay, if you actually do what you do, and like I said, I understand. A lot of this right here, yes, departments can get political. But dude, if you are about to be arrested, just stop resisting. Okay, just stop. If you resist and you do something stupid, guess what? Stupid shit's going to happen. What's the old saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You guys know what I'm saying. Now, guys, I'm not saying you should back them. I'm not saying you shouldn't back them. I'm saying what you should do is take a situational approach when it comes to law enforcement, when it comes to police. And you need to actually vet people and not allow your department to become political, if you guys know what I'm saying. If a department becomes political, then yes, I would suggest you not back them. However, if these were here are good, decent people that you know, that you're around all the time, that you know personally, you know that they're actually ethical, then yes, you need to back them, especially when they're right, especially when it comes to, like I said before, fire and EMS. If you ain't got no police departments, many a grandma and many a granddaddy are going to die before they even get to a nursing home, like in the case of Andrew Cuomo. You guys see what I'm saying? She has a heart attack. There ain't no cop to secure the scene. She's in a very, very bad neighborhood. She's dead. What if she's like in her early 40s? What if she's in her 20s? What if a guy on the job has a cinder block fall on the back of his head? He gets knocked clean out. You got to freaking treat his ass right away. What if he gets nailed by a hammer? Could die. He ain't wearing his hard hat. Yeah, I know. He should have been wearing his hard hat, but still. You've got to have law enforcement in these areas, secure these areas, so that way things can actually get done. People can actually be saved. A lot of this right here is course correction with the person, okay? Like I said, play stupid games with stupid prizes. If they are arresting you at the time, just cooperate, go down there, get the shit fixed out. If you're innocent, okay? You got nothing to fear. Now, I understand constitutional rights. Trust me, I'm very, very much on the side of that there. But look, some people get in trouble for the stupidest crap. Like I said, go back to Dante Wright. If that boy had just stopped, shut the car off, he'd be alive today, and Kim Potter would not be going to prison for 2 years. But as I said before, it's these big departments that have gotten suddenly political. They've got all these political appointees that, by the way, the good cops, the ethical cops are leaving, and the bad cops are coming in, or the new cops who don't really know they're coming in and being trained by the bad cops, the people who don't really care anymore. That right is how this crap even started. That's how this crap is getting, okay? So as I said before, keep a situational approach when it comes to law enforcement. Guys, once again, John Claymore. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. Those are just my thoughts. Leave a thought in the comment section. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, thank God.
Sorry about that. Just be a second. That's a clean burning hell, I tell you what.